7 Steps to Financial Freedom. Why should you read this book? Throughout your life, you've always felt you deserve more. But somewhere, is there an invisible barrier holding you back? You work hard, but still struggle to make ends meet. Does the money you earn bring you more stress, not freedom? Maybe the issue isn't how much you earn, but how you think and manage it. That's exactly why this book was written. Financial freedom. These 2 words may sound like a fantasy, but here you'll see that financial freedom isn't a fantasy, it's a strategy. And this strategy isn't just for those born into wealthy families, lucky entrepreneurs, or lottery winners. It was written for people like you who think, feel, and strive. What will this book offer you? This book won't sell you get-rich-quick fairy tales, but it will show you the obstacles that prevent you from achieving financial freedom. And then, it will explain step by step how to overcome these obstacles. What's more, without drowning you in technical jargon, with a real, simple, and practical roadmap. What's inside this book? You will recognize the invisible money barriers in your mind. You will learn to use the money you earn more wisely. Not when spending, but when saving and investing, you'll see how to gain freedom. You'll discover ways to escape the debt trap. And most importantly, money will no longer work for you. You will make money work for you. This book does not merely provide financial information. It rebuilds the mindset that leads to wealth, because money is not only earned through hard work, but first in the mind. Who is this book for? For those who say, money is never enough for me. For those who say, I want to start my own business, but I don't know where to begin. For those who think, the money I earn doesn't set me free. For those who say, debts are suffocating me. And most importantly, for everyone who says, I want to change now. If you're reading these lines and there's a voice in the back of your mind saying, I can do more, don't silence that voice. This book was written for that very voice. If you're ready now, the journey begins. Step 1, reset your mindset. Becoming wealthy, at first glance, seems to be about working harder, earning more, or having a better job. But in reality, this is only the visible side of the coin, because wealth is a result, and like every result, it has a cause. This is the first step of this book, which will introduce you to that reason, your mindset. Every person develops a money mindset from childhood. This mindset is shaped by their family, school, environment, and their experiences. Today, social media also plays a role in this shaping, and most of the time, this mindset is unconsciously written with codes of poverty. For example, money isn't easy to earn. Rich people are greedy. If you have a lot of money, you'll be lonely. People like me can't be rich. Everything in life is fate. These thoughts might sound like innocent cliches, but in fact, each one is software embedded deep in your brain. And as long as this software is running, no matter how much you earn, no matter how hard you try, it will pull you back without you realizing it, because you are at war with your own mind. So how does this battle end? The first step is to recognize these programs, because you can't change anything you don't recognize. The second step is to question them. Is this belief truly serving me, or is it limiting me? The third step is to change them. Just like deleting old software and installing new software in its place, you cannot build a wealth system without deleting the poverty codes. This is not just a matter of motivational phrases. This is a fact that has been explained by neuroscience and behavioral psychology. The brain creates new neural pathways based on recurring thoughts.
No matter how much you say, "I will be rich," if your subconscious still says, "You don't deserve it," your brain will continue to lead you down the old path. That's why you must first close that path and then open a new one. Now let's do a little exercise. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Think of the first sentence that comes to mind about money. Now ask yourself, is this thought mine, or was it taught to me? Does this thought serve me, or does it hold me back? These questions will shed light on the old codes in your mind. Every new piece of information you learn in this book will be a new system you install to replace those codes. Because wealth is a result. And to reach that result, you must first update your own software. In the previous pages, we saw that mindset is the cornerstone of wealth and how poverty codes are embedded in our subconscious. Now it's time to decode these codes and replace them with new wealth-focused programs. 1. What is mindset? Mindset is how we perceive the world. It is the sum of our beliefs, thoughts, and values. This system shapes our decisions, our behavior, and ultimately, our lives. Unless you change your mindset, you will continue to get the same results. 2. There are two basic types of mindset. Fixed mindset. My abilities and circumstances are unchangeable. This is who I am. Anything more than this is not for me. People who think this way resist change. They are closed to innovation due to fear of failure. Growth mindset. Everything can be learned and developed. Failure is the path to success. People with this mindset learn from their mistakes, are open to change, and dare to take risks.
3. What type of financial mindset do you have? To progress on the path to wealth, you must adopt a growth mindset. Earning money, investing, changing spending habits, all of these are learned skills. If these statements sound familiar to you, I don't understand money matters. Investing is too complicated. This isn't for me. Then you are stuck in a fixed mindset. You need to question and change these thoughts. 4. 7 steps to change your mindset. Step 1. Awareness. Write down your thoughts and beliefs about money. What are you telling yourself? Identify the negative and limiting ones. Step 2. Questioning. Question each negative belief. How true is this belief? What experience taught me this? What does this belief give me? How does it hold me back? Step 3. Rewriting. Replace negative beliefs with positive, empowering statements. Example, I can learn to earn money. Wealth is my right too. I learn from my mistakes. Step 4. Repetition and reinforcement. Repeat the new beliefs daily. Use meditation, affirmations, visualizations. Step 5. Action. Take small but concrete steps. Develop new habits. For example, make a monthly budget. Start saving. Step 6. Review your environment. Spend time with people who have a developed wealth mindset. Distance yourself from negative and obstructive environments. Step 7. Patience and persistence. A mindset shift takes time. Don't give up along the way, and don't be afraid to make mistakes. 5. The power of the brain. Neuroplasticity. The brain structure is not fixed. It can reshape itself. This is called neuroplasticity. Every new thought creates a new neural network. Positive, supportive thoughts can replace negative habits. This scientific fact shows that a mindset shift is possible, and that the key to your own financial freedom lies in your brain.
6.
Mindset shift in practice. Repeat positive statements about wealth for 5 minutes every day. Read or listen to the financial stories of successful people. Write down your fears and anxieties about money and question them with logical questions. Break down your financial goals into smaller pieces and set achievable targets. In summary, mindset is the first and most critical step toward financial freedom. You must recognize old, limiting beliefs and replace them with new ones. This process takes time, but each step brings you a little closer to freedom. This story will be a realistic example that best illustrates how mindset shapes our lives and that change is possible. Story: Michael's journey. Michael was a 35-year-old office worker living in Ohio. He led an ordinary life with a middle-class income, but deep down, he always held the same beliefs about money. Making money is hard. No one in my family ever got rich, so how could I? Taking risks only causes problems. His paycheck would disappear as soon as it hit his account each month. Even if he managed to save a little, he would think, something will come up, I'll need it. He had credit card debt, constantly worked overtime or looked for side jobs, but still couldn't seem to catch a break. One day, he heard about a book series called Financial Freedom from an old college friend. His friend told him, "Mike, this series completely changed my mindset. I can't think the way I used to anymore." Michael was skeptical at first. Are these books for people like us? He wondered. But in the end, his desperation pushed him to give it a try. When Michael started reading the book, the section titled Reset Your Mindset had the biggest impact on him. It was hard to face his inner voice. Money isn't easy to earn. Rich people are just lucky. Investing is too complicated. But he began to realize that these were just thoughts holding him back. He took a small notebook and wrote down all his beliefs about money. Rich people are born that way. You need to have money to invest. Money only causes problems. Then he thought, where did these beliefs come from? From his childhood, from his family's arguments over money, from constant stories of scraping by, from the helpless people around him. Michael began to question these thoughts. Is everything really just luck? Or are learning and hard work also important? Investing may be difficult, but can't it be learned? Money isn't bad. How you use it is what matters. And he wrote new sentences to himself. I can learn. Money is a tool for financial freedom. Wealth is my right too. Michael began repeating these new thoughts aloud every morning. He set small goals: to keep track of his spending, save a little money each week, read books on financial topics instead of wasting time on social media. He also joined a local group focused on money management. Months passed and the change became visible. His debts were starting to decrease. His savings were increasing. His confidence in himself had grown. His worries about money had diminished. Most importantly, money was no longer a fear for him, but an opportunity. Lessons to learn from Michael's journey. Michael's story shows us a simple but powerful truth. Wealth begins in the mind. Unless limiting beliefs about money change, external results will not change. But when the mind changes, behavior changes. When behavior changes, life changes. Just like Michael, you too can recognize, question, and rewrite your old money stories. This journey isn't easy, but it's definitely possible. And perhaps freedom is much closer than you think.
Step 2. Identify and increase your income. Discover and grow your earning potential. 1. The importance of identifying your income. Many people think their income consists solely of their salary. However, income is not just the money you earn from your job. Income is the sum of cash flows from different sources. For example, salary or freelance fees, side job income, dividends, interest or rental income from investments, one-time income such as gifts, bonuses, or gratuities. Financial awareness starts with mapping out all these income sources. Identifying your income streams allows you to see where you are strong, where opportunities lie, and where risks exist. 2. Distinguishing between types of income. It is useful to divide your income into two main groups: active income and passive income. Active income is income you earn by actively spending your time and effort. Salaries, freelance fees, commissions, and side jobs fall into this category. Active income is usually limited because time is limited. You can't exceed 24 hours a day. Passive income is the income you earned after putting in the initial effort, which is then received regularly. Examples include rental income, dividend shares, royalties, and digital product sales. Passive income is the key to financial freedom because it is independent of time constraints. 3. Assessing your income correctly. The first step to increasing your income is to assess and optimize your current income correctly. To do this, you should ask yourself the following questions. Where does my income come from? How can I increase it? Are there opportunities for growth or new opportunities in my active income? What are my passive income sources, and how can I create them? Can I diversify my income sources? Are there any sudden drops or risks in my income?
These questions show that you need to manage your income like a portfolio. Relying on a single source of income increases your financial risk. Diversifying strengthens your financial stability. 4. Basic ways to increase your income. The ways to increase your income are not just about working harder. You need to work smart, develop strategies, and evaluate opportunities. Develop your skills and knowledge. Acquire new skills, become an expert in your field, demand higher pay, or land better jobs. Create additional income streams. Discover ways to earn extra income from your hobbies and interests. Examples include online sales, consulting, and digital product creation. Invest. Grow your savings with the right investments. Learn about financial instruments and put your money to work. Automate your income. Set up systems for passive income, subscription-based businesses, royalties, online content sales, etc. Develop your network. Meeting the right people increases your business and income opportunities. 5. Prioritize increasing your income. Not every path is suitable for everyone. Choose steps that align with your income, time, and skills to determine your priorities. For example, if your time is limited, you can focus on generating passive income. If you have expertise in a particular field, you can try to increase your active income. The important thing is to stay balanced while growing your income. Overworking can ruin your health or motivation. 6. Patience and planning are essential for income growth. Income growth can sometimes be rapid, sometimes long-term, but in any case, it is necessary to be organized, set goals, and be patient. Let go of the get-rich-overnight dreams and focus on sustainable growth.
These questions show that you need to manage your income like a portfolio. Relying on a single source of income increases your financial risk. Diversifying strengthens your financial stability. 4. Basic ways to increase your income. The ways to increase your income are not just about working harder. You need to work smart, develop strategies, and evaluate opportunities. Develop your skills and knowledge. Acquire new skills, become an expert in your field, demand higher pay, or land better jobs. Create additional income streams. Discover ways to earn extra income from your hobbies and interests.
Examples include online sales, consulting, and digital product creation. Invest. Grow your savings with the right investments. Learn about financial instruments and put your money to work. Automate your income. Set up systems for passive income, subscription-based businesses, royalties, online content sales, etc. Develop your network. Meeting the right people increases your business and income opportunities. 5. Prioritize increasing your income. Not every path is suitable for everyone. Choose steps that align with your income, time, and skills to determine your priorities. For example, if your time is limited, you can focus on generating passive income. If you have expertise in a particular field, you can try to increase your active income. The important thing is to stay balanced while growing your income. Overworking can ruin your health or motivation. 6. Patience and planning are essential for income growth. Income growth can sometimes be rapid, sometimes long-term, but in any case, it is necessary to be organized, set goals, and be patient. Let go of get-rich-overnight dreams and focus on sustainable growth.
4. Passive income generation strategies. Passive income is earning money regularly after investing time and effort. It requires intensive work initially, but provides sustainable income. Some examples: real estate rentals, stock and dividend investments, digital product sales, copyrights and licenses, automated sales systems. Creating passive income is the key to financial independence. Therefore, you must include passive income sources in your income growth plan. 5. Automate and systemize your income. Consistency is crucial for increasing income. To achieve this, you can automatically allocate a portion of your income to investments and savings. For example, a certain amount can be transferred to savings and investment accounts as soon as your salary is deposited. This way, income management becomes systematic and growth continues without your effort. 6. Know your worth and your price. Increasing your income also involves knowing the value of your labor and time. Working too much for little pay or feeling undervalued lowers your motivation. Therefore, research the market value of your work and get what you deserve. If necessary, review your salary or price. 7. Managing risks and protecting your income. Protecting your income is just as important as increasing it. To prevent sudden income losses, it is necessary to save, create an emergency fund, and diversify your income. It is also beneficial to analyze financial risks and obtain insurance or consulting services if necessary. 8. Networking and seizing opportunities. Meeting the right people opens doors to new business and income opportunities. The business world is shaped by your connections. Therefore, expand your social circle, attend events, and connect with professionals in your field.
9. Patience and flexibility in increasing income. Not every income-increasing strategy yields immediate results. You must be patient, regularly monitor your progress, and change your strategy if necessary. Adapting to changing conditions while increasing your income brings success. Summary: increasing income is not just about working harder. You need to increase your own value, create additional income streams, develop passive income, set up automated systems, manage risks, and expand your social circle. When these strategies come together, your financial potential is maximized. If you're ready, shall we continue with an inspiring and educational story that reinforces these points and wrap up the section? Story: Emily's Journey to Income. Emily was a 28-year-old graphic designer who had just graduated from college. Her first job was at a small advertising agency in Portland. Her salary wasn't high, but it seemed sufficient at first.
However, after a few months, she realized the truth. If she truly wanted to travel, move into her own place, or feel financially secure, relying solely on her salary wouldn't be enough. For Emily, income meant only the salary she received. Until one day, while listening to a financial podcast on her way to work, she heard this sentence: "If you want to grow financially, you need to have more than one source of income." This sentence stuck in her mind and completely changed her perspective. Emily started by figuring out exactly where her money was coming from. She opened a new notebook and wrote down her salary, the money she earned from small freelance jobs, even birthday gifts and annual bonuses. And she realized that these small amounts actually made up a significant portion of her total income. The problem wasn't money, it was lack of planning. She had sources of income, but they were scattered.
During this process, she realized the limits of her active income. She could only work for a certain part of the day. Any more than that left her exhausted. She understood that for real progress, she now needed to turn to passive income sources. In other words, she needed to make her money work for her. Emily first decided to invest in herself. She enrolled in online design courses and began specializing in Photoshop and digital illustration. She also started looking for small projects on freelance platforms like Upwork and Fiverr, taking her first steps toward increasing her active income. At the same time, she developed ideas for passive income. She could create digital products, prints, templates, and social media kits using her own designs and sell them on sites like Etsy and Creative Market. With some savings, she also started researching the stock market and investment funds. She was very excited when she found her first freelance job, but juggling freelance projects while keeping her full-time job wasn't easy. Between agency deadlines, customer feedback, and personal development, she was often quite exhausted. Her Etsy shop didn't achieve immediate success either. She didn't make any sales for weeks, but she didn't give up. She researched digital marketing, improved her product photos, and diversified her designs. Slowly, she began to see the fruits of her labor. By the end of the year, Emily's monthly income had increased by approximately 60%. She now had 3 different income streams: her agency job, freelance projects, and digital product sales. Her savings had grown, and she had even started making her first small investments. But the biggest change was in her mind. She no longer saw her salary as her only security. She had built a sustainable income structure with her own efforts, and she knew it would only grow over time. Emily's story shows that increasing your income requires patience, strategy, and continuous learning. Increasing income is possible not only by earning more money, but also by investing in yourself and having the courage to create opportunities. Lessons to be learned from this story. Don't view your income solely as a salary. Analyze all your resources. Know the limits of your active income and create passive income streams. Increase your value by developing your skills. Diversify your income sources to reduce risk. Be patient. Growth takes time and effort. Be flexible, adapt to changing conditions, and pursue opportunities. Emily's story illustrates the importance of patience and determination in the process of understanding and increasing your income. Now it's your turn. Are you ready to analyze your income, create new opportunities, and embark on your financial growth journey? Step 3. The importance and fundamentals of expense management. To achieve financial freedom, managing expenses properly is just as critical a step as increasing income. Because no matter how much you earn, if you can't control your spending, your entire income could go toward expenses. There's a famous saying, "Small leaks sink big ships." In this section, you will learn how your spending affects your financial health,
the basic principles of expense management, and how these principles can change your life. 1. Identify and categorize your expenses. The first step in expense management is knowing your expenses exactly. Each month, you should clearly record where and how much money you spend. This is essential for creating a basic financial tool called a budget. It is very useful to categorize your expenses.
Fixed expenses. Expenses that do not change, such as rent, bills, and loan installments. Variable expenses. Expenses that change every month, such as grocery shopping, fuel, and transportation. Luxury and discretionary expenses. Dining out, entertainment, vacations, new electronic devices, etc. Thanks to these categories, you can easily see where you are overspending and whether you have any unnecessary expenses. 2. Understanding spending habits. Simply recording your spending is not enough. It is also important to understand the psychology behind these habits. For example, emotional eating habits, impulse purchases influenced by social media, unnecessary spending driven by peer pressure. If these habits go unnoticed, even the best budget plan will fail. 3. Budget preparation and implementation. A budget is a plan that keeps income and expenses in balance. To do this, clearly determine your income. Subtract your fixed expenses. Set reasonable limits for variable expenses. Set aside a specific amount each month for luxury spending. Be sure to leave room for savings and investments. Keeping your budget in writing and reviewing it weekly promotes discipline. 4. Techniques for controlling your spending. Some practical methods can help you limit your spending. Shop with a list. Avoid going grocery shopping without a list. It prevents buying unnecessary items. Prefer using cash. Spending with a card is easy. Cash is more controlled. Review your spending. Check your monthly bank and credit card statements to find incorrect or unnecessary expenses. Check your subscriptions. Cancel digital subscriptions you don't use. Wisely evaluate discounts and deals. Track discounts on products you really need. 5. Savings culture and discipline. Managing your spending is also about developing a habit of saving. Saving is not just about accumulating money. It's about creating resources for financial freedom. Even small amounts saved regularly can make a big difference over time. 6. The impact of expense management on your life. Well-managed expenses reduce stress, provide financial control, and allow you to look to the future with confidence. Conversely, uncontrolled spending leads to debt and financial hardship. Summary: managing your expenses is as important and a priority as increasing your income. Identify your expenses, categorize them, prepare a budget, and apply it with discipline. Incorporate a culture of saving into your life and prevent small leaks. This will initiate major changes in your financial life. Advanced techniques and strategies in expense management. Identifying your expenses, categorizing them, and creating a budget form the foundation of financial discipline. However, real change comes from the advanced techniques you apply on top of these foundations. In this section, you will learn strategies that will take expense management to a deeper level, increase savings, and transform your financial life. 1. The power of keeping an expense journal. Keeping an expense journal is a highly effective method for preparing your budget and controlling your spending. In this method, you record every expense, big or small. Writing down your expenses helps you become aware of your spending habits. Most people are not even aware of their unnecessary or meaningless expenses.
Keeping a daily record reveals these unconscious expenditures and helps you prevent them. 2. Apply the Pareto principle, 80-20 rule. This rule, which also applies to financial expense management, states 80% of your expenses actually cover only 20% of your needs. In other words, the vast majority of your expenses may come from insignificant spending.
Identifying this and setting your priorities correctly allows you to cut unnecessary expenses and save money. Number 3, set up automatic savings systems. You can create automatic systems to make saving a habit. Set up your bank account to automatically transfer a certain amount each month to a savings or investment account. This method makes saving a priority and ensures it doesn't get forgotten. It also helps your emergency fund grow and reduces financial stress. Number 4, prioritize and plan your spending. Not all expenses are equally important. You need to spend according to your priorities. For example, your health and education should be your priority. Luxury and discretionary expenses should be secondary in your budget. To do this, it is helpful to set and track monthly spending goals. Number 5, manage debt effectively. If you have credit card or other debts, you should get them under control first. High-interest debts make financial life difficult. You need to focus on reducing your debts first, then move on to saving and investing. Number 6, look for alternative and economical options. You can discover different alternatives to reduce your expenses. For example, plan your grocery shopping according to discount days. Take measures to reduce energy consumption. Use public transportation or a bicycle for commuting. Shop for second-hand items. These small steps add up to significant savings over time. Number 7, set financial goals and stay motivated. It is important to have clear goals for saving and managing your expenses. For example, goals such as buying a house, traveling, or creating an emergency fund encourage disciplined spending habits. As you achieve your goals, your motivation increases and you succeed in managing your finances.
8. Review your spending regularly. Review your spending and budget monthly. Analyze where you are successful and where you make mistakes. Update your budget accordingly and set new goals. Summary: managing your expenses requires discipline, planning, and conscious action. Tracking your expenses daily, prioritizing them, setting up automatic saving systems, and looking for alternative ways will strengthen you financially. Keeping your debts under control and setting clear financial goals will bring success. These strategies will help you gain financial control that will change your life. Story: David's spending journey. David was a 32-year-old engineer living in Seattle. His income wasn't bad, at least in theory, he should have been able to live comfortably. But every month as payday approached, his bank account told him a different story. Despite having a steady income, he was constantly broke. He didn't know exactly where his money was going, and this uncertainty bothered him. One day, a close friend invited him to a financial awareness seminar. At the seminar, he learned the importance of tracking spending and budgeting. He realized then that no matter how much he earned, he wouldn't achieve financial freedom without learning to manage his spending. Step 1. Identify and categorize expenses. After the seminar, David started recording every expense: coffee, lunches, gas, bills, digital subscriptions, online shopping. He wrote everything down. At the end of the first month, the results were surprising. A large portion of his income was going to small but unnecessary expenses he wasn't even aware of. Then he categorized his expenses. Fixed expenses, rent, bills, transportation. Variable expenses, grocery shopping, gas, entertainment. Luxury or optional expenses, coffee, eating out, subscriptions. This classification allowed him to clearly see where he could save money.
Step 2. Changing spending habits. David decided to start with a small step, his coffee habit. Instead of buying a $5 coffee from the cafe next to the office every morning, he started making his own coffee at home. This small change meant a saving of around $150 at the end of the month. He then started bringing lunch from home instead of eating out. He reviewed his subscriptions and canceled the ones he didn't use, including his gym membership, which he hadn't used in months, and an extra streaming platform he had forgotten about. These changes were difficult at first, but seeing the difference in his weekly spending records motivated him. Step 3. Create a budget and set up an automatic saving system. After getting his spending under control, David created a monthly budget. He divided his income into 3 main categories: essential expenses, personal expenses, and savings. He also set up a system where a certain portion of his salary would be automatically transferred to his savings account each month. This way, he didn't have to remember to save. The system did it for him. Before long, this became a natural habit. Results and realizations. 6 months later, David's financial situation had completely changed. Unnecessary expenses had decreased, he had created an emergency fund, and he had started setting aside a small portion of his income for investment. He no longer experienced stress at the end of the month. On the contrary, he knew where his money was going and planned how to make every dollar count. David's journey taught him this: financial freedom is less about how much you earn and more about how you manage what you earn. Small-seeming daily expenses can create significant losses without you realizing it. But with awareness, discipline, and planning, everything can change. Lessons from David's story. Track your expenses regularly and categorize them.
Avoid small but unnecessary expenses. They add up to make a big difference. Prepare a monthly budget and stick to it. Make saving automatic to gain stability. Be patient when changing your habits. Remember, controlling expenses is just as important as income when it comes to financial freedom. David's story is a vivid example of how managing your spending can transform your life. You too can take the first step toward financial freedom today by reviewing your spending. Step 4. Get out of debt. Breathe easy. Ways to manage consumer debt and strategies for getting out of debt. The reality of debt and the importance of managing it. Debt is one of the most common financial problems today. Whether it's credit card debt, personal loans, or consumer financing, if left unchecked, debt becomes the biggest enemy of personal finances. The burden of interest on debt accumulates and grows, dragging people into financial distress. In this section, you will learn about the true nature of debt, why we get into debt, how debt affects our financial lives, and how to manage it healthily. 1. Definition and types of debt. Debt is money borrowed from another person or institution to be repaid within a specific period and under certain conditions. Consumer debt is generally used for needs, but sometimes arises from overspending and lack of planning. Types of debt generally include credit card debt, short-term debts with the highest interest rates. Consumer loan, need-based loans obtained from banks or financial institutions. Mortgage, long-term loans used to purchase a home. Auto loan, loans used to purchase a vehicle. Other debts, service debts such as phone bills, electricity, water, or borrowing money. The type and terms of the debt determine the management strategy.
2. The psychology of debt and reasons for borrowing. Various psychological factors underlie borrowing. Immediate needs or emergencies, consumption habits and habitual spending, social pressure and status seeking, unplanned spending and lack of financial literacy. Borrowing is not always bad. When managed correctly, it can be a tool for financial growth and investment. However, uncontrolled debt causes stress and financial collapse. 3. Effects of debt on financial life. The burden of debt requires you to allocate a large portion of your monthly income to repayments. This prevents you from investing in other financial goals. Debt interest increases as the principal grows, raising the total cost of the debt. In the long term, debt stress negatively affects both mental health and social life. A debt-free life brings freedom and comfort. 4. Basic principles of debt management. The first step to getting out of debt is to clearly understand all your debts and their terms. Information such as the amount of debt, interest rates, and payment plans must be gathered completely. Then, debts must be prioritized. High-interest debts should be paid off first. 5. Debt repayment strategies. There are different methods for paying off debts. Snowball method. Start by paying off the smallest debt first. This provides psychological motivation. Avalanche method. Start by paying off the debt with the highest interest rate first. This reduces the total cost of the debt. Consolidation method. Combine debts into a single loan with a more favorable interest rate. Each method has its advantages and challenges. Choose based on your personal situation. 6. Things to consider when getting out of debt. When paying off debt, it is very important to avoid taking on new debt. Expenses should be reviewed and the budget should be applied with discipline. In addition, debt payments should not be delayed and additional sources of income should be created if possible. Summary. Debt management is a critical process for maintaining financial health and becoming debt-free. It is necessary to understand the type, psychology, and effects of debt, to act strategically and with discipline. It is possible to get out of debt by choosing the right debt repayment plan and controlling spending. Debt relief strategies and practical recommendations. Debt is a major burden and source of stress for many people. However, it is possible to get out of debt with the right strategies. In this section, we will present effective methods to accelerate the debt relief process and practical recommendations for debt management. 1. Prepare and prioritize your debt list. The first step to getting out of debt is to make a complete list of your debts. Write down the amount, interest rate, monthly payment, and remaining term for each debt. Once you have this list, you can prioritize your debts. High-interest debts should be paid off first. Paying off smaller debts early can also boost your motivation. This step allows you to see your debt burden concretely and makes it easier to develop a strategy. 2. Tighten your budget and reduce your spending. You must set aside a portion of your income to pay off debt. To do this, review your spending and cut back on unnecessary expenses. Give up luxury spending, cancel subscriptions, and eat out less. Direct the money you save toward paying off your debts.
3. Generate additional income. One of the most effective ways to get out of debt quickly is to earn extra income. You can explore options like freelance work, part-time jobs, or monetizing your hobbies. Additional income accelerates debt repayment and provides financial relief. 4. Restructure your debts or refinance. Research refinancing options for high-interest debts. Converting your debts to a lower-interest loan can reduce your total debt costs. This method lightens the payment burden and makes financial planning easier. 5. Use the snowball and avalanche methods. There are two popular methods in debt repayment strategies. Snowball method, pay off the smallest debt first. This method provides a quick sense of accomplishment and boosts motivation. Avalanche method, pay off the highest interest debt first. This method reduces the total interest paid and saves money in the long run. Which method you choose depends on your personal motivation and debt structure. 6. Don't delay debt payments and stay disciplined. Consistency is very important when paying off debt. Making payments on time prevents late fees and extra interest. You can make this discipline easier by setting up automatic payments. 7. Get support and advice. Seeking financial advice provides professional support for debt management. You can get help from experts for debt restructuring, budget planning, and psychological support. This support speeds up the process and enables you to make healthier decisions. 8. The psychological aspect of getting out of debt. Getting out of debt is not only a financial process, but also a psychological one. Feelings of stress, anxiety, and hopelessness are normal, but you need to deal with them. Positive thinking, focusing on goals, and believing in yourself lead to success.
Change your financial habits after paying off debt. After paying off your debts, review your financial habits to avoid repeating the same mistakes. Plan your spending, create a budget, establish an emergency fund, and make saving a priority. Getting out of debt is the beginning of a new financial life. 10. Celebrate success and reward yourself. Celebrating small successes during the debt repayment process increases motivation. Every debt paid off is a new step forward. You can make this process enjoyable by giving yourself small, appropriate rewards. Summary. To get out of debt, you need to be systematic, disciplined, and determined. Make a complete list of your debts, tighten your budget, generate additional income, and prioritize your debts. Reduce your debt burden by using refinancing and payment strategies. Make your payments on time, get support, and stay psychologically strong. After paying off your debts, try not to fall back into debt by changing your financial habits. Story: Sarah's journey from debt to freedom. Sarah was a 29-year-old marketing specialist living in Chicago. She had a good job and a steady income, but one day she realized she was spending far more than she was earning. Her credit cards were maxed out, personal loans piled up, and every month ended in a financial struggle. The debt burden was heavy. She could no longer sleep peacefully at night, constantly worrying about the future. Debts and realities. One evening, Sarah decided to face reality. She sat down at the kitchen table, took a notebook, and wrote down all her debts one by one. Credit cards, personal loans, phone installments, even money she had borrowed from friends. She was stunned when she saw the total.
The amount of her debt was almost half her annual income. Moreover, interest and late fees were increasing her debt every month. Step 1. Awareness and determination. Sarah realized that the first and most powerful step to getting out of debt was awareness. She wrote down the remaining amount, monthly payment, and interest rate for each debt. Now the picture was clear, and this transparency empowered her. She made a promise to herself: no matter how long it takes, I will get rid of these debts. Budget and spending control. Then he created a strict budget. He started recording every expense: morning coffees, eating out, unused subscriptions. He simplified his budget. He cut back on luxury spending, started cooking at home, and became more mindful when shopping. He directed every penny he saved directly toward debt payments.
It was difficult, but seeing the debt amount decrease motivated him. Creating additional income sources. To pay off his debts faster, he started doing freelance content writing in the evenings. Balancing it with her full-time job was challenging at first, but as she earned extra income, her hopes grew. Every additional payment brought her one step closer to being debt-free. Debt repayment strategy. Sarah used the strategy known as the avalanche method, meaning she paid off her highest interest debts first. This allowed her to pay less interest overall and reduce her debt faster. She also used the snowball method. As she paid off smaller debts, she gained morale. Each small success gave her great motivation. Discipline and overcoming challenges. Some months were tough. Unexpected expenses arose, and sometimes she lost her morale. But she didn't give up.
She set up automatic payment instructions and made regular payments every month. This discipline made a big difference in reducing her debt. Getting support. Sarah decided to meet with a financial advisor midway through the process. With the advisor's help, she restructured some of her debts and created a payment plan with lower interest rates. This step both accelerated the process and gave her some breathing room. Psychological transformation and new habits. When she paid off all her debts, Sarah felt liberated. She could now sleep more peacefully and look to the future with confidence. But she didn't stop there. She adopted new financial habits. She continued to prepare a regular monthly budget. She created an emergency fund. She avoided unnecessary spending and used her credit cards wisely. Conclusion. Sarah's story shows that it is possible to get out of debt. With proper planning, determination, and patience, anyone can achieve financial freedom. Debts are like chains, but breaking that chain is entirely up to you. Lessons from Sarah's story. List all your debts and find out their interest rates. Keep a tight budget and control your spending. Create additional sources of income and accelerate your payments. Start with the highest interest rates, avalanche method. Make regular payments and avoid taking on new debt. Seek professional help if necessary. Stay mentally strong and be patient. After becoming debt-free, maintain your financial habits. Sarah's journey is a realistic, achievable, and inspiring example for anyone wanting to get out of debt. You too can start your own journey to financial freedom today by taking the first step.
Step 5. Learn to invest. Make your money work for you. Basic investment concepts. What is investing and why is it important? One of the most effective ways to achieve financial freedom is to grow your savings through investing. Investing means putting your money to work for you rather than just saving it. When you convert your savings into investments, you start earning income over time and can generate passive income. 1. Definition of investment and basic concepts. Investment is transferring your current savings into instruments that will provide more returns in the future. The main purpose of this is to protect your money against inflation and grow it. Investment instruments can include stocks, bonds, real estate, investment funds, cryptocurrencies, and more. 2. Why should we invest? Simply keeping your money in the bank causes it to lose value against inflation. By investing, you can preserve and increase the value of your money. In addition, investment income provides you with financial freedom and comfort. 3. Risk and return balance. The concepts of risk and return are fundamental to investing. Generally, investments promising high returns carry high risk. Low-risk investments, on the other hand, provide lower returns. Determining your personal risk tolerance is the first step in creating the right investment strategy. 4. The time factor in investing. Time is one of the most important factors in investing.
Long-term investments grow exponentially over time thanks to compound returns. Investing early greatly facilitates financial success. 5. Basic investment instruments. Stocks grant ownership rights in companies. They offer high return potential, but may be subject to fluctuations.
Bonds. These are safer investment instruments with fixed interest returns. Investment funds. These are portfolios that pool the money of many investors and are professionally managed. Real estate. Physical asset investment that provides rental income and value appreciation. Term deposits. Low-risk accounts with fixed-term interest returns. Cryptocurrencies. High volatility investments with high potential returns, but also high risk. 6. The psychology of investing. It is crucial to avoid making emotional decisions when investing. It is essential to avoid panic selling during market fluctuations and to remain disciplined and committed to long-term plans. Patience and determination lead to success in investing. 7. First steps in investing. When starting to invest, set your financial goals. Assess your risk tolerance. Start small and diversify your portfolio over time. Follow resources to gain knowledge and stay open to learning. Summary. Investing allows your money to grow and helps you achieve financial freedom. Choosing the right investment tools, understanding the risk-return balance, and leveraging the power of time are critical. Investing patiently and strategically without making emotional decisions leads to success. Investment strategies and portfolio management. When you enter the world of investing, simply putting in money is not enough. Acting with the right strategies is essential to grow your money more safely and efficiently. In this section, we will detail investment strategies, the importance of portfolio diversification, and the fundamental principles to consider when making investment decisions. 1. What is an investment strategy? An investment strategy is a plan and approach determined by the investor based on their goals, risk tolerance, and investment horizon.
This strategy determines which instruments to invest in, how much to invest, and the time frame for action. Successful investors can remain calm in the face of market fluctuations by sticking to their strategies. 2. Long-term investment. Long-term investment is generally used for investments of 5 years or more. This approach ensures that you are not affected by short-term market fluctuations. With the compound return effect, your investment grows exponentially over time. Major investors, such as Warren Buffett, emphasize the importance of a long-term strategy. 3. Short-term and medium-term investment. Short-term investments are typically made for 1 year or less. Medium-term investments range from 1 to 5 years. These types of investments require more frequent market monitoring and quick decisions. The risks may be higher, therefore it is wise to allocate only a small portion of your capital. 4. Portfolio diversification. The most effective way to reduce risk in investing is through portfolio diversification. By investing in different sectors and different asset types, you prevent the poor performance of a single investment from negatively impacting your portfolio. It is important to use stocks, bonds, real estate, and other investment instruments in a balanced manner. 5. Risk management. Every investment carries a risk, and accepting this is the first step. Risk management is the set of strategies and precautions you take to protect your investments. Using stop-loss orders, setting selling limits, and minimizing potential losses are key methods.
It's also essential to review your investments regularly.
And stay updated with market and economic developments. 6. Evaluating investment instruments. Every investment vehicle has its own advantages and risks. Stocks, high return potential, but also high volatility and market risk. Bonds, lower risk, stable income, and predictable returns. Mutual funds, professional management and diversification benefits. Real estate, tangible asset, rental income, but lower liquidity. Cryptocurrencies, extremely volatile and speculative in nature. When investing, always evaluate these options based on your personal financial situation and goals. 7. Market psychology and emotional control. Investor psychology can often influence the market more than the market itself. Fear and greed are the main causes of poor decisions. The fear of missing out or panic selling during downturns are common mistakes. Maintaining emotional control and staying loyal to your strategy are essential for long-term success. 8. Consistent investing and discipline. Consistency and discipline are the keys to successful investing. By investing a fixed amount every month, you grow your portfolio regardless of market fluctuations. This approach, known as the dollar-cost averaging strategy, helps reduce risk over time. 9. Knowledge and education. The world of investing is constantly evolving. Keeping up with economic trends and improving your financial literacy is crucial. Read books, take courses, and learn from experts. Every bit of knowledge gives you an advantage. 10. Investment advisory and support. If you're new to investing or don't have the time to manage it yourself, consider professional support. Financial advisors can help you build a portfolio tailored to your personal goals. However, always ensure that your advisor is trustworthy, transparent, and acts in your best interest.
Summary. Creating an investment strategy, diversifying your portfolio, managing risk, and maintaining emotional discipline. These are the foundations of successful investing. Think long-term, stay disciplined, keep learning. Each step you take brings you closer to financial freedom. Story. Jake's money now works for Jake. Jake was a 32-year-old software developer living in Seattle. He earned a good salary and lived comfortably. But despite the passing years, he still had no savings. He earned money, spent it, and by the end of each month, nothing was left in his account. Worse yet, his fascination with the latest tech gadgets had filled his credit cards with debt. One morning, while sipping his coffee, he came across a YouTube video that said, "If you have to wake up every morning to make money, you're not wealthy, you're just surviving." That sentence echoed in Jake's mind. He realized that he was indeed making money, but that money wasn't working for him. It was only keeping him afloat. In that moment, he made a decision. He would no longer focus only on earning money. He would learn how to make his money work for him. Step 1. Financial literacy. Jake started by learning. He read books about personal finance, listened to podcasts, and watched countless videos. He wanted to understand, what is investing? How does it work? What is risk? How do you manage it? Soon he discovered something important. Investing wasn't just for the wealthy. Anyone with knowledge and discipline could start small and build their own wealth. Budgeting and saving. Jake began by analyzing his spending. When he saw where his money was actually going, he was shocked. Dining out, brand-name clothes, weekend getaways. So he made a simple rule for himself. Save 20% of his income and invest 10%. He created a budget, and this time, he stuck to it.
Small beginnings, big impact. Jake made his first investment through a mutual fund. It had a balanced level of risk and was managed professionally. Then he began studying the stock market,
reading company reports, following market trends, and learning how to build a strategy. He started with just $100. His goal wasn't to get rich quickly, it was to learn. Over time, he diversified his portfolio. Some in stocks, some in gold and foreign currency, and the rest in index funds and savings accounts. Psychology and patience. A few months later, Jake's investments started to lose value. The market was down. The dollar was falling. He panicked for a moment. Should I sell? He wondered. Then he remembered what he had read. In the long run, the patient ones always win. So he didn't sell. He stayed calm. A few months later, the market recovered and his portfolio grew again. That's when Jake truly understood something. Investing isn't just done with money, it's done with character. Consistent investing and compound growth. From then on, every payday, Jake automatically transferred a fixed amount into his investment accounts. He discovered the power of dollar-cost averaging, investing consistently every month regardless of market ups and downs. And soon, he witnessed the magic of compound interest. His money began to grow on its own. That realization motivated him even more. New goals and a shift in mindset. 6 months later, Jake's portfolio was growing steadily. He no longer worried about the future. He felt financial freedom was truly possible. He started saving for a down payment on a house. He understood the value of choosing to work rather than being forced to work. Most importantly, he was no longer just an employee. He had become an investor. On his desk, he placed a small note that read, "My money works for me. I work for my dreams."
Lessons from Jake's story. You don't need a lot of money to invest. You need knowledge and discipline. Small, consistent steps make a big difference. Act with strategy, not emotion. Diversifying your portfolio reduces risk. Patience and time are your strongest investment tools. Jake wasn't rich yet, but he was free. His money was working for him, and he was finally working for his dreams. Remember this: investing isn't only about building wealth. It's about reclaiming your time and your freedom. Step 6. Building passive income streams. How to make money even while you sleep. The foundations of passive income and why it matters. If we asked, what's the key to financial freedom? Most people would probably say, making more money. But the real key is earning even when you're not working. That's passive income. Passive income comes from sources that continue to generate money long after the initial effort. It's income that flows to you even while you sleep, outside of the traditional paycheck system. At first, it might require some time, knowledge, or investment, but once it becomes sustainable, it opens the doors to true freedom. 1. What is passive income? Passive income is the money you earn without actively trading your time for it. A salary is active income, but money you earn from an ebook, stock dividends, or a YouTube channel, that's passive income. Common examples include stock dividends, rental income from real estate, digital product sales, YouTube or blog revenue, online courses, licensing income, automated e-commerce.
2. Why should you build passive income? Because your time is limited. You only have 24 hours in a day, and you can't physically work multiple jobs forever. By building passive income systems, you learn how to buy time with money. Here's what passive income gives you. Financial security. Even if you lose your main job, the income continues. Flexibility. Work less, live more freely. Investment power. Use the extra income to grow your portfolio. Future stability. Maintain income even after retirement. 4. How much passive income should you aim for? That depends on your goals, but a good starting point is simple. Cover 25% of your monthly expenses with passive income. If your monthly costs are $1,000, your first target should be $250 in passive income. Once you reach that point, your dependence on a job decreases and your confidence and motivation rise. 5. Simple passive income ideas you can start today. You don't need a fortune to begin. Here are a few low-cost ways to start building passive income. Write an ebook. Share your expertise and sell it online. Create an online course. Teach something valuable on platforms like Udemy. Start a blog. Build traffic, earn through ads and sponsorships. Launch a YouTube channel. Generate ad and affiliate income over time. Sell stock photos, music, or designs. Turn your creativity into digital assets.
Summary. Passive income means making your money work for you instead of you constantly working for money. It's more than a financial goal. It's a mindset shift, one that frees not only your finances, but also your time and energy. If you want a more comfortable and independent future, start building your passive income systems today. Step 7. Diversifying income streams and building systems. How to create income that flows automatically. Passive income isn't magic, it's a system. Earning passive income doesn't mean doing something once and getting paid forever. But with the right strategy and a strong system, your initial effort can turn into automatic cash flow over time. This section will show you how to build income systems that work for you, even while you sleep. 1. Passive income from digital products. Write an ebook. Ebooks are one of the most effective ways to build knowledge-based passive income. You write it once, and it keeps selling on Amazon, Google Play Books, or local publishing platforms. It's perfect for anyone who wants to share expertise in areas like personal development, finance, health, or technology. How to start? Pick a topic you're confident in. Write a 30 to 50-page guide that offers real value. Use tools like Canva or Google Docs for simple design. Upload your book to Amazon KDP or other digital platforms. Promote it on social media and earn ongoing sales. Create an online course. If you have a skill or area of expertise, turn it into an online class. Platforms like Udemy, Skillshare, or Teachable sell the course for you. You just create it once. Example course ideas: Excel or data analysis, social media marketing, Photoshop for beginners, mind mapping, investment fundamentals, voiceover and narration. Tip: invest in good sound and visuals. A professional setup pays off for years.
2. Passive income from content creation. Start a YouTube channel. When done right, YouTube can become a true passive income engine. Create educational, informative, or entertaining videos and get paid as people watch. Income sources include ad revenue, sponsorships, affiliate links, product promotions, and channel memberships. Even older videos can keep generating income months or years later. Start a blog. Blogs can attract traffic over time and generate passive income through ads, affiliate marketing, and digital product sales.
Google AdSense and affiliate networks form the foundation of this model. 3. Passive income from investments. Stock dividends. Dividends are the profits companies pay to shareholders. By investing in stable, dividend-paying companies, you can earn regular cash income simply by holding your shares. This is pure passive income. Real estate and rental income. Owning and renting property is a classic and reliable source of passive income. A well-chosen location can provide steady monthly rent. Short-term rentals, like Airbnb, can increase your returns even more. Savings and interest income. Fixed deposits or savings accounts are low-risk, low-return ways to earn passive income. They work best for people with larger capital who prefer safety and stability. 4. Affiliate marketing and digital promotion. Affiliate marketing lets you promote someone else's product and earn a commission for each sale. You can do this through a website, social media page, or email list. Even major platforms like Amazon, Trendyol, and Hepsiburada offer affiliate programs. How it works: choose a product you believe in, promote it through your content, and earn a percentage every time someone buys. Over time, as your library of articles or videos grows, your affiliate content continues to generate sales automatically.
5. Automation, the key to true passive income. Real passive income begins when you automate your system. Build automation tools like automatic billing and payment systems, email marketing sequences, content scheduling, and advertising campaigns. For example, imagine your ebook is uploaded, connected to a payment gateway, and automatically delivered via email. Even while you're relaxing on the beach, someone could be buying your book. That's real passive income. 6. Risks and realistic expectations. Building passive income takes time, patience, and experimentation. Ignore online claims like, "I made $10,000 in one day." Most are exaggerated or misleading. Be realistic. If you make even $10 in your first month, that's progress. As your content gains value, your income will grow exponentially. Consistency is your biggest advantage. Summary: passive income isn't just for the rich, it's for anyone with vision and persistence. Start small. Build systems that work automatically, and over time, you'll create multiple income streams that grow while you live your life. The most critical step is this: start today. Because systems take time to build, but time only works for those who begin. Story: Emma's Silent Revolution. A story of a life freed through passive income. Emma was 28 years old. She worked as a creative director at an advertising agency in New York, spending her days buried in back-to-back projects. The office lights rarely went out before 11 p.m. She was successful in her creative career, yet something inside her whispered, "You only earn money as long as you keep working." One evening, while browsing YouTube on her laptop, she stumbled upon a video titled, "Can You Really Make Money While You Sleep?" The title sounded cliché, but by the end of the video, something inside her shifted. A new path opened in her mind. "I can do this too," she thought.
Step 1. The digital product idea. Emma had been running a small blog about brand design for years. Her audience wasn't huge, but they were loyal. Then she asked herself, why not turn all this knowledge into an ebook? The next morning, before leaving for work, she sat down with her coffee and began to write. Her ebook was 40 pages long, titled The Brand Guide for Freelance Designers. She designed it simply using Canva, exported it as a PDF, and uploaded it to Gumroad. She priced it at $15. That first week, only 2 people bought it, but Emma didn't give up. She kept sharing her book with her followers on Instagram. Within 3 months, 214 copies had been sold.
And for the first time, she felt something new, real freedom. While I'm asleep, someone buys my book and the system automatically sends it to them. Step 2. The online course. Encouraged by her ebook success, Emma decided to launch an online course on Udemy. She spent her weekends recording an 8-part video series explaining the entire branding process. She called it Build Your Own Brand, a course for freelance designers. At first, only a few students enrolled, but a year later, over 1,200 people had joined. Every month, Emma received a steady payment, income that no longer required her time. The system was built once, and now it worked on its own. Step 3. YouTube and blog income. Emma began thinking ahead. If she kept creating content, she could connect all her income streams together. So she started a small YouTube channel, just her voice, her knowledge, and her passion. Every week, she uploaded videos about design tips, client communication, and freelance life. Within 6 months, she reached 1,000 subscribers. Ad revenue started coming in, and brands began offering small sponsorships.
On her blog, she added links to the design tools she used, educational resources, and software licenses. Each sale earned her a small commission, and over time, those small numbers grew into something significant. Setbacks and the test of patience. Emma's journey wasn't a straight line. Some of her work was copied. Some videos didn't perform well. Her motivation dipped more than once. But she had built a system, and she refused to quit. She reminded herself, passive income takes patience. At first, you walk slowly, but one day, the system runs for you. Where is Emma now? Today, Emma works at the agency only 3 days a week. The rest of her time is spent creating new content, managing her brand, and learning new skills. Her passive income now averages around $1,000 per month, and it keeps growing. That money doesn't just pay her bills, it fuels her dreams. Her next goal? To build a digital product system that generates $60,000 per year. Lessons from Emma's journey. Don't wait to be perfect to start. Begin and learn as you go. Small streams of income can grow into powerful systems. Your knowledge, skills, and experience can all become tools for passive income. Patience and consistency are the invisible capital behind success. To earn while you sleep, you must first work hard while awake. Emma's story reminds us that passive income isn't just a theory, it's real. And if you have knowledge, a story to tell, or even just a spark of inspiration, the small digital step you take today might become the foundation of your financial freedom tomorrow.